Hello everyone, it is Thursday afternoon. That means it's time for another Facebook Live. I'm going to give you a minute to find me. While you're doing that, I'm going to share this with my page, just in case somebody is looking for it there. If you are new to my Facebook Live, I do this almost every Thursday. Sometimes I'm out of town, but for the most part, I'm here on Thursdays. And we make something fun, and then the next week I give it away. So last week we made this fun foil card with our new hot foil system. So I will tell you at the end who won that. Also, on my blog, shortly after this video, will be the dimensions to make the card. So if you want to make the same card or something similar to it, you can. This is not, sorry, I can't talk and run my laptop at the same time. Why is it? Facebook is doing weird things. I don't know why I did that. Okay, we're about there. All right, maybe. Okay. Let's get back to where we were on my laptop. Okay, I think we're ready. Wow. Okay. For some reason, Facebook gave me like half a page instead of the full screen. It was crazy. But today we are playing with the Framed Violets bundle, or the Violet Dreams Suite. So the bundle is this beautiful stamp set and these lovely dies. And then the paper. Oh, I forgot to grab the embellishment. Nope, that's not the paper. The paper that goes with it is just beautiful. And this is purple, so it's right up my alley. So as usual, you have a beautiful floral on one side and then more a generic on the other. And you can tell that this is well loved. I had a class, and that's what I've been sharing with you this week. What the cards we made in class. And then this one also has 2 pages of punch outs. So you'll see that, on some of the cards that I'll show you at the end. I have my first page, I went ahead and punched out them all and put them in there in a little baggie just so I wouldn't lose them, because some of them are pretty small. And then the other paper that's included in the suite, trying not to be too loud, it is called Shimmering Stripes, and it is hard to get it to show up on camera. There you can kind of see those stripes? They're like really sparkly, really gorgeous. And that's what I used for this die cut. And then I forgot to grab real quick. There's some ribbon that goes with it. It is a Fresh Freesia. What do they call it? Satin band, I guess, satin ribbon. And then there are some gorgeous, you can see them here, flower embellishments, which I just have to find where mine are. Sometimes I put my online exclusives in a separate spot. Well, all right, they're not showing up, but you'll see them. I'll find them and put them on the card I make today. So whoever wins this card, the card that we make today, will have embellishments on theirs. But they're these really cute little flowers with some sparkle in the middle. All right, so we're going to make this card, but different colors. So I wanted to use a different designer series paper, a different punch out, because a lot of the people that comment and win took this class, so I didn't want them to have the exact same card. So, let me get my pieces. So you'll notice this is a regular card base. And then I just cut it, and I'll put this in on my blog with the dimensions, like 2 1/4 inches past the fold. And then I cut the remaining piece to 2 1/4 inches. So this is 4 1/4 by 2 1/4. Again, I'll put all that on my blog. So it just gives you this nice little, I don't know if they call it a bridge card or what. But before we make that bridge, let's do our DSP. So I used this one. It has this hydrangea hue in the background, which is why I used hydrangea hue card base. So we'll put this on first. And I'm putting it, I cut it so that it matches. Hey, Nancy, sometimes I get so busy crafting I forget to look. I don't know that anybody will notice if it does or doesn't match because of the stuff in between, but I just wanted it to match. All right, and so once you have that, then you can get my liquid glue. I like to use my liquid glue for this part because it's holding the card together. So what you're going to do is place this so it lines up to the bottom of your card. So you're going to have this gap in the middle. Whoops. So line that up, and then I have cut from the dies with this bundle out of that beautiful shimmering stripes, the bigger oval. So I'm just going to put some liquid glue here and here, making sure that bottom piece doesn't move. And then I'm just going to lay this. I want it tilted a little bit. There we go. Lay that in between, in the middle. Just hold on to that for just a minute till that liquid glue adheres. And now you have a card. Isn't that fun? All right, and then I did die cut. Well, let's do our stamping first. We'll set that aside for a minute. I've got a piece of hydrangea hue. We're not going to use this ribbon today because I went with the hydrangea hue. And Peaceful Pine. And this time it's going to say, take care. So hopefully I can stamp this straight. No, I don't like that. Let's turn it over. I want to have some room to angle the ends if I decide I want to do that. Well, that's okay. So let's do that. Whoops. I like to angle them the same way. You could do it that way, but I like to angle them the same way. So there's our sentiment. And then the punch out that I got this time was the hydrangea hue one. So we're going to put that on with dimensionals. Yeah. I was seeing how much of it is on the oval. You don't want to have a dimensional hanging off the edge of the oval. But it should all fit on there. All right, so we'll just put that in the middle. Oh, and I forgot to cut out a piece of white. I may have to do that real quick. Because I want you to see how I do that. Then this, I'm just going to take some liquid glue and put it on top of that punch out. And then I brought over, this is our hydrangea hue ribbon. This ribbon comes in all of the new in colors. And I wanted to use it instead of the fresh freesia on this card. All right, and then might still be a little big, huh? See if we can make it a little bit smaller. Trim a little bit more off. That's better. All right, and then I like to just use a glue dot for my ribbon. Just press it down on there. And then just put that right in the corner. All right, now, what I forgot to do is cut out, so you could probably write on this, but you don't necessarily want your writing to come out on the outside. So I had cut the other oval in the suite out of white. So let me just do that real quick so I can show you how I attached it. There's dies. There's just an easy trick. So you can see there's this scalloped one that I used for the striped, that fancy stripe, but then I just used this oval, and it's got a little bit of a rough edge for the inside because it's smaller. And I'll just use basic white for it. All right, let me grab my cut and emboss machine. We can use the small one for this if I cut my cardstock down. Sorry, that was probably kind of loud, wasn't it? All right. So I just have a piece of basic white. I'm just going to die cut this oval. Whoops, let's make sure it's all on the cardstock. I just forgot to cut this piece out. Okay. All right, now we have an inside. I'm going to put my die away, or at least in the right area so I don't lose it. Now, the trick I was going to show you, I need to find my, here it is. So what I do is I put seal on the back of this die. And then I open this up and I just lay this behind that. So I know it's going to be hidden. And then I just fold the back over. And then when you open it up, it's adhered to the back of your card, but it's completely hidden by your other die. So it's just a little trick to make sure you have it centered where it won't show around the edges of this. So there is our hydrangea hue version of this card. I really like that one too. This is Perfect Peaceful Pine. So this is the one I'll be giving away next week. I didn't make an extra one because I already done this. And I will find my embellishments, they're here somewhere, and add them to this card before I give it away. Okay, last week we used the new hot foil system, and last I checked, it's still available, and we made this beautiful butterfly card. So I was going to show you, Kay had a technique class with the hot foil, and I got my cards done last weekend. So I was going to show you. Now, this one is not available at the moment. This, well, last I checked, it wasn't. But it's a bunch of sentiments. And then there's the dies that cut them out like that. And that's with the gold. And then this one is probably going to be about next on my list. This is with the silver. It is a whole set of small sentiments like this that you foil all at once and die cut all at once. So that's with the silver. You can kind of see it shimmering. And then we made a butterfly card. This is with the gold again. and we didn't die cut them this time. We just used the masks and color them. I mean, look at that gold. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. So this is the one I made last week, and the winner of that is Khaki. So I will get that to her. All right, and since we are on butterflies, let me show you. This was another technique class with Kay. So she does a technique class every month that I go to. So it's fun for me to just go and be a stamper and not a teacher. And this one we just stamped on the circle, but these other two were, I forgot what she called it, but you color around the outside of the butterflies before you punch them out, and then you don't have that sharp white. Well, you can see it on this card that I made. You can see that sharp white outline on these butterflies. So this is just a way to not to have them kind of fade into the background. So this one we colored with Daffodil Delight, and this one we colored with Pool Party. So to match the background. So nothing difficult, just something that you can do if you don't want that white outline around. All right, those were the ones I wanted to show you. And then just, these are, you've seen these online probably, but I was going to show you them to you here too. These were the other cards from my Sweet Violet or Violet Dreams class. Whoops, I can get it in the frame. This one is using mostly punch outs. We stamped on the punch outs, but then we just used the flowers and the leaves and stamped on some DSP. So that was an easy one. And then this, we used that gorgeous striped, shimmering stripe again. And so there's the three colors of flowers. There's the, what I would say is probably what they're calling Gorgeous Grape. It's the darker one. Then there's this, that is the Fresh Freesia. And then the clear or the white. So those are the three colors of flowers that you get that are a part of this suite too. So I need to figure out where mine are so I can add some to this card. So whoever wins this next week will have some pretty bling. All right. I think that, oh, I had one more thing I was going to show you. I had a lot to show you today. I have a class coming up next Thursday, which is the 6th, I believe. The last day to sign up will be August 4th. And so I was going to show you what we're going to make in that class. This is washi tape. So we've had a couple of sets like this where the washi tape you can die cut. And this one is individual dies. So you can just die cut what you want instead of one big die. And this label is the Sweet Labels. It's the one that goes with the Winnie the Pooh suite online. This is the latest, I don't think I have it right here, product of the month. It's a begonia something, so I just stamped some leaves on there, and then I did fussy cut this, but that's easy to do. And this is using that same Violet Dreams paper. And then this, I had to do some foil and one Halloween card. So this is, I showed it to you last week when I did the foil. I forget what the name of it is, but it's a foil dies like this, and then there's also stamps that give you texture. So I'll definitely be doing more with it, but I wanted to do one foil card for the class next week, so that's using this silver foil. So these are the three cards we'll be making in class next week. So if you're interested in joining me to make these, you'll make 2 of each. The cost of the class is $25 or free with a minimum purchase of $30. And as I said, the last day to sign up will be Tuesday, the 4th. All right, I think that is it. There's the card we made. So shortly I'll have the dimensions on my blog. So if you would like to recreate this or something similar, it's really, I don't know if you'd call it a fun fold because there's really no specialty to the fold, but it is kind of fun because you are missing a piece in the middle. It's like a bridge card or something. I don't know what you call it, but I liked it. All right, so I will get the dimensions to this on my blog shortly, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye.